So this is the booth exterior. You can see here the height of it. I'm 5'10", so I figure if you're about maybe no more than 6'1", you should be able to fit in pretty comfortably. I think anything over that, you might have some issues. A little bit of damage for when the mover's moved, but still sturdy after 5 years. The booth is still rock solid. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. And because it's so heavy, you want to make sure you put a blanket underneath it or a rug or something that allows you to slide it. That way you don't risk scratching up your wood floors or tiled floors or whatever. Also, these bolts here, just make sure these are always tight. If they're loose, you'll run the risk of having like squeaks and stuff. Now, you've probably noticed that my booth panels are different colors, white and black. And that's because this actually used to be a white panel, but I replaced it with a black panel because I wanted a darker ambiance inside of the booth. You'll notice that there's some discoloration on the panel here. And that's because when you're entering the booth, you'll grab this panel to lean in. And, after years of doing that, oil from your hands or dirt from your hands and stuff, if you're worried about something like that, like this spill of coffee that I had trying to sneak into my booth with coffee, a full cup of coffee, spilled all on the side. I was so angry about that. If you don't want that kind of stuff or don't want to worry about that kind of stuff, you want to go with the black interior or black panels. The only downside to black panels is you're going to need to run more lights because black absorbs so much light. And you can see here in this clip that I took at their studio, you see it's dark in there. It's super dark in there. And so you're gonna need a lot of lighting sources. So there's trade-offs, right? And if it's white, you don't need as much light. It's brighter, it's more alive, but it's harder to keep clean, particularly in high touch points like the door frame or the door frame, the door panel and stuff. Another issue that I'd run into, and this is, I think, mostly due to the old model that I have. See this crack here? That's a crack in the mass-loaded vinyl sheet. The thing is, this model of panel, the older ones, are thin. They don't have as much 3M thinsulate on them, and the way they're up there, they kind of overlap on each other. And so it's hard to get in. So the way to get in is basically like bending the panel in like this. Like you kind of push it and you like kind of slide in. But if you do this over and over again, it's creating that bending on there, and you end up with these cracks over time. I think it might be due to the fact that I added these thicker panels, which it threw off the alignment. And because of this, there's this gap here, and it creates like an abnormal bend. And you can see it over here on the other side. If I look here, you can tell that that sound insulation material is creating that gap right there. And so I think that might have something to do with why it cracked like that. Again, they've made improvements to the structure and stuff, and the panels are upgraded. And also the way that the doors open in the new models, it's more free. It swings more freely. And I'll try to demonstrate that when we go to the showroom. I'm going to show you guys what the inside of my booth looks like now. First question people ask is, what is this behind me here? It's a shower curtain. I have it hanging up with clips up here. So behind here, I actually put extra padding on here. And I don't know if you can see how thick that is. That's about maybe just under an inch of additional padding. And the material is like this polyester, I believe, thing. I got it here in Korea. I don't even know what it's called. But I basically just adhesive stuck them to the panel. And there's a coffee stain from the day I spilled the coffee on the outside. But anyways, the first generation sound panels, while very good for what I had before, like compared to the DIY pillow fort and the walk-in closet, it's still, I wanted more. And so that's why I got these. But the new generation, the panels are thicker. They added more the 3M thinsulate, and so the panels are actually denser. So they said that to get like a even increased reduction in the dBs. So I added these panels, but the biggest change that I made were the panels up here, these panels. And this, if you remember in my first review video that I did 5 years ago, I was like, hey guys, can you hear this? Like it's like a womp, 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 that resonance, the reverb up at the top. If I'm up here near the top and you can hear it, it's like a honking, echoey sound. But there's a definite difference if I'm talking down here and I go, there's an echo up here. So I put these up on the ceiling as well, and I just basically stuck them up there. And you can hear now, it's like, still there just a little bit, but it's a night and day difference. I can record up here just fine, or I can just come down here, sit down, and there's not a huge difference in sound. It's not a huge difference. The next question people ask is, how do you stand and sit? You just saw me stand up like this, right? But now I got to move the microphone up like this. Okay, fine, I can adjust the microphone. But what about like my desk and my keyboard? I actually use a adjustable desk. And so I have this desk, which actually came with the Musicus Booth when I first bought it. This is the original desk that they provided with the purchase. And on top of it, I got this adjustable tabletop from Costco. And so I can adjust up and down if I need to, like this. That way, if I ever have to stand up to record, but I also need to edit, then I can just raise the keyboard up. And now it's comfortable for me. I can raise it a little higher if I need to, and just go like this. Another thing that bothered me about this booth, I mean, it still bothers me, but they've improved it, is the hooks that you mount the panels on. These hooks were the bane of my damn existence, dude. It took my wife and I together to get these heavy ass panels on here. Yeah. 왜 이렇게 힘들지? But they've improved it. Now they have a straight bolt. It's a very heavy duty bolt that comes out, and all you have to do is just slide it on. And because they're long, they're like maybe 2 inches long, like it's just easy to put on. You don't have to try to put it over the hook and your knuckles are hitting this top part up here, and it's you don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's a huge improvement. It's like a quality of life improvement, especially if you're somebody who isn't, like, you're not permanent where you live, like you might move from apartment to apartment, your lease is up, whatever. You want to be able to break this down, get to your next place, and put it back up with as least amount of trouble as possible. And that makes it possible to just, get in there and do it and get done. If you remember in my original video, the bottom and the top kind of come together like this, right? And it's just a solid square that goes on top. That shit's a pain in the ass to put into the arms of the booth itself. And not only that, it is one of the reasons why putting these panels on the hooks is so hard, because it's one unit. Now what they've done is they've gotten rid of the one piece full top, and instead they just have like a rectangular square that goes on top like this, but the middle part is open. And so that makes it easier to just hook or hang the panels on those straight bolts. And then on the top, there's like a square topper you drop on, and it's like a sound insulated topper. It just sits on top. And so the whole thing is just easier to put together now. They took a lot of feedback from users, and they had the pain points, like I mentioned about these hooks. That's a huge pain point, and it's been resolved. So if you're getting the newer models, you don't have to deal with the stress that I was dealing with. Here's the ventilation. It's supposed to go on to the fan here. So you connect it to the outside of the fan, and then you would feed this hose into the door like that to ventilate. Yeah, on paper it works. In practice, it's actually non-effective. I didn't find it to be very effective, but what they have now for ventilation is a straight game changer. The good thing about this one is that it has the ventilation, which is here. And this ventilation is something that they've added in the new models. So I have one of the older models that doesn't come with the ventilation, but this one does. And let me just turn that on. So that's full blast ventilation right there. But you can turn it down with this dial. Turn it up a little bit more. So it is audible. But I mean, it's a fan. But damn, that thing actually blows a lot of air. Let's take a look at some sound samples measuring like the sound pollution and how the booth actually reduces that. Okay, so to give some idea of what the sound reduction is inside the booth, I am holding my Stellar X2, recording through my audio Sigma interface into the sound recorder here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the mic, make sure it's facing out, put it out towards the road. There's not a lot of traffic in my neighborhood, but it should be enough to kind of give an idea. So we're just gonna set that there. And this is what we're getting right now. My wife is also blow drying her hair. You can hear it out there. She's blow drying. It's about 80, right? Let's go ahead and take it and put it inside the booth. Just gonna put that there. And come back out. Seal it up. All right, so we're sealed up. Still got traffic going outside. My wife is still blow drying her hair. And about 50, 49.50. So my daughter's watching TV in the living room. Coming at about 75 to 85, sometimes 90 if people are talking. Closing the door. Windows closed. Mike's in the booth. And we are looking at a 40. Now that's pretty quiet. So as you can hear, the booth actually does a really good job of reducing the noise. Right now, my daughter's still out there watching that loud ass cartoon. She just coughed. I can hear her cough. I can hear it ever so slightly. If I really, really want to hear it, I can hear it. And so if you're using a microphone like a, what do you call it? Like a Rode microphone, or if you're using a Stellar X2, or any microphone that has that wide pickup pattern, the wide polar pattern, you may be able to hear the noise in the microphone depending on what the noise is and the proximity of that noise to you. So my window right there outside this booth, when I open the window, those cars and buses that go by, I could definitely hear that on a Stellar X2. And if I throw noise reduction on there, I can get rid of it, depending on what it is. But I highly recommend for anybody who's recording in a space that has high noise pollution, you have to get a shotgun microphone. Like this microphone is a Sennheiser MKH 416. It's almost like $800 to $1,000. It's not cheap, but you can go with something like a Synco D2. I do plan to put out a review video comparing this one to the 416. The biggest benefit of a shotgun microphone, besides the fact that it has higher clarity, I believe, is you can choose which way it's pointing, and it's only going to pick up in this one spot here. So even if I move slightly off axis here and I'm talking, you can hear my audio just became a bit muddier than it was before. And if I move back in front of it now, it becomes very clear. And if I'm over here on the side, then you really can't hear me at all. So imagine that you have the window right outside your booth. All you have to do is take your microphone and turn it away. Face it away from the window, and it'll reject a lot of the noise that comes in through the booth. Any noise that makes it in through the booth, it'll get rid of that. And then anything that's even left, you just throw some noise reduction on there. If you're in a DIY booth right now, and you're dealing with noise from HVAC, planes, people cutting the grass outside, your kids talking out in the living room, watching cartoons. Sometimes the DIY is not going to get it for you, especially if you're building one on a budget. And once you start adding stuff, rock wool or, more, bass traps and all this stuff, the price starts to creep up. And I'm not saying that you can't do it cheaply. But if your solution right now is just moving blankets, and you're dealing with, oh, I can't record right now because my air conditioner just kicked on. Oh, I can't record now because the guy's outside cutting grass. This might be a good solution for you. It's $1,500, guys. $1,500, you book a few jobs on Voice 123, and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already paid itself off. And that was the logic that I used when I first bought it. Again, I didn't want to throw a lot of money into a booth when I first got started. One, I couldn't really afford it. And two, even if I had to throw it on a credit card, I got to pay that shit back. I don't like using credit cards to do things like that. So we bought this, and I'm just so happy with it, man. A couple things I would change about this booth is I wish that I had more like shelf space. Like, cause you take a look, I got my little stuffed animal there. I got a stuffed animal up there, looking really menacing with that shadow. I got a couple things my daughter has given me, but there's no shelf space. there's nowhere to store stuff and decorate it, make it your own. And that was something that I like, man, I wish I had that. But again, that's like nice to have. It's the niceties, you know, it's not like a make or break for me. Also, you know, in terms of space, I thought that this booth would be a good enough size for me. And for the most part, it has been. Almost everything that I need to do, I can do in this booth. And that includes if I ever want to do like animation video games, I have enough room to gesticulate. The problem I'm running into now is my daughter is starting to show interest in voice acting. And so we have to spend time in the booth together. And you just saw, like, there's not a lot of room down here. You know what I'm saying? For both of us to stand up. I'm standing here, I'm sitting here by myself. There's not a lot of room down there to work with. And so when she and I are here together, we're practicing or she's doing one of her auditions, it just gets really cramped. And because there's two of us in here, the mic picks up everything, the shuffling around. It's kind of hard to do. So I will be upgrading my booth to the medium size, which is like twice the size of this one. And I'm gonna throw up a clip so you guys can see that. So here we are inside of the medium size booth. And to give you an idea of what the size is like in here, and here I am standing in the corner, and that's how much room I'm working with. If I were to stand here and then take a giant step across, so it's pretty big in here. It's pretty roomy. I could lay down in here. This is literally, I can't get the exact measurements, but it's probably like 6 or 7 feet. Do you need the medium size? I don't think you do. I don't think many people need a medium size. It's really overkill. It really is. But it's one of those things. Like, what is your future plan? Like, what do you plan to use the booth for? And how much space do you have in your house? Because the medium, I mean, it take up like half of a room. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty damn big. So unless you have a dedicated room for that, like a storage room or something, I don't know. You just gotta think about what you need. But I think for most people, this 100, or I said 100 centimeters, this yard by yard size here, and the height of it, I believe, is like maybe 6'5", maybe a little bit higher than that. It's a good size. Anyways, that was my 5-year review of the Musicus booth. I love this thing. I will keep raving about it because it has literally changed my life. It has literally changed my life and made it possible for me to record and earn and become a great voice actor in a way that I was limited in my DIY booths, in my walk-in closet. You know, I was limited. You know, it showed up in my audio quality and stuff. I wasn't confident in the audio ascending. And now I don't have to worry about that. So if you have any questions about something I didn't answer in this video, or if you have questions you want me to ask the founder of Musicus, because I'll be visiting them in 2 weeks and doing an interview and a showroom tour to share with you guys as well, drop it in the comments down below. I'll make sure those questions are asked to him. And if you want to learn more about the booth itself, I have a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link, takes you to Amazon. So I do get a small commission if you purchase through that link, but it doesn't cost you anything. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My name is DJ, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.